Hello, I am Megan Rose, and this is my first book talk video, and I chose Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this is Marissa Meyer's first, actually I think her only standalone book. All of her other books are a series and they go on for ages, so I chose this book because I was looking for a standalone novel specifically just because I just feel like I can't really start another series right now. I just need to kind of, I don't know, just read one book and then move on. So anyway, and then I loved that it was a spin-off book. I don't know why, but I love spin-offs. Spin-off books, movies, TV shows, I just love, and I guess it's not really a spin-off, it's more of like a prequel or a backstory, whatever. Anyway, I love all that. So that's why I chose this book, although it's funny, because I hate Alice in Wonderland. I hate it. Like, though that movie scared the poop out of me when I was a kid. The Mad Hatter, the Queen, the stupid little cat, Cheshire, and pretty much every single character except for Alice and the White Rabbit scared me in that movie. I was kind of like low leery reading this book because of that. I have read Marissa Meyer's Cinder, her first book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I knew she would do a good job with it. I knew she would make me like it, and she did so good. It's so wonderful. Anyway, so let's talk about this. I loved the voice, I loved just the world of Wonderland, but that it was very like colonial England, you know, that type of thing. She did such a good job with her wording and just how she described everything. I loved it. I loved everything about it. The main character, Catherine, had this love and passion for baking. I thought that was so cool, and how, you know, I noticed in her dialogue, sometimes she would describe things using like baking terms like sweet as sugar, like when she was kissing Jess, and you know, things like that. So I thought that was really cool that she kind of sprinkled those things in there, her love of baking, even in other parts, you know, other areas of the book. Yeah, I loved her and Jess, Kath and Jess. I loved their relationship and just how that grew into, you know, what it grew into. There were so many things that I loved about this book. However, I just could not allow myself to get attached to these characters because I just had this never-ending pit in my stomach that this was going to end badly. So, and I mean, rightfully so. I think it makes sense because, you know, it's the backstory of the Queen of Hearts. So it just kind of is what it is. And anyway, so I made tea for myself because it's freaking freezing out. Anyway, back to the story. I totally thought I had this book figured out though by like, I forget what chapter it was. It was the chapter where Jess and Kath were at the well and they were kissing, and then they were going back, you know, gonna go back home, and she was gonna tell her parents, and she was gonna, you know, deny the king, or, you know, not accept his proposal and everything. And I just knew that that wasn't gonna happen. And I totally thought that Kath was just gonna continue to be a doormat and just, you know, let people run her life for her, even though she obviously didn't want anything her parents wanted. And I just totally thought she was just gonna cave and give in, and then Jess was gonna steal her heart, and then he was gonna take it back to Chess. And yeah, oh my gosh, that didn't happen at all. I kind of wish that's how it ended, because that would be better than what happened. So anyway, I totally knew that, or I knew it, but I didn't want to know it. I was praying that this was gonna be like Maleficent, where it was like kind of a retelling, where it's like, oh yeah, Alice was actually the bad one, or, you know, I don't know. So, and not, you know, not the Queen of Hearts, not Kath. So, and this is her happy ending. I don't know. Anyway, it didn't happen. So, but it was super good, super good. I loved everything. Yeah, everything about him, except for the end. Okay, so did anyone else just want to reach through the book and just take Kath by the shoulders and just be like, are you kidding me? You need to grow a pair. You need to fight for this. Like, she just infuriated me that she didn't want to, she had all these feelings about what she wanted and she felt really strongly about them, but then she wasn't sticking up for herself or speaking up. And I don't know, that got a little annoying. So I was just like, ah. But anyway, so let's talk about some of the characters that were super annoying and we didn't like, or I didn't like at least. So let's talk about Hada first. I totally did not like him at all. I mean, I think I liked him. I thought I liked him in the tea party scene. He was, seems nice enough in that scene. And then at the celebration scene down on the beach, I forget what it was called, about the turtles. But then he just became this total royal jerk. Like, oh my gosh, I wanted to reach through the pain and strangle him because he was just being such a jerk to Kath. And it was like, it's not her fault that, Jess is pursuing her and wanting to take her heart, and then, his emotions get involved, and obviously hers would too. So anyway, he just was really annoying. And then at the end, kind of crazy that, everything was really connected, and I loved that. I love like when books can, bring everything full circle and really connect it. But it was crazy that he was the one that actually planted on accident the pumpkin seeds at Peter's house. So that was crazy as well. Oh my goodness, the king and the people in this book, like the kingdom people and everything. Oh my gosh, it was so, I could just feel for Kath. I could just feel the eye rolls because I totally could feel for how frustrating these people were because they were such idiots. Like the king, just wanting to, gloss over the Jabberwock and the problems with that. And then at the end, when they found Peter not guilty, I was like, oh my gosh, these people, I just can't right now. So I totally could feel for Kath in that regard. And her mom, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for her and just how terrible her mom was. I just wanted to strangle her. Every time she would say something about Kath and her weight and how she looked, that was just super frustrating. And then when she wouldn't let her eat her lemon tarts or, try whatever she made, I was just like, oh my gosh, she made them. She gets to try them, you little jerk. So anyway, that was super annoying. And then the dad, he was super passive throughout the whole book, not having a say and, or not even really wanting a say, not even caring. And then at the end of the book, he says something about, he hopes that she's happy and when she's gonna go marry the queen, oh gosh, no, that didn't happen. Gonna go marry the king. So, and it was like, it's too late, you jerk. Like, what is wrong with you? And I'm all for respecting your parents and because they should be respected. However, I totally understood Kath's response there when she was like, yeah, it's too late now, So anyway, I was super annoying there as well. So these characters, man, but good job, Marissa Meyer, good job. You did a good job making us hate the characters that you wanted us to hate and then not, love the characters that you wanted us to love. So can we just talk about that kiss at the well? Oh my gosh, all the feels. I think I was like squealing in my chair. It was like a Saturday night. My husband was sleeping on the couch and I'm sitting in the chair just like engulfing the book, and it was just the well scene. Even like Jess, finally confessed what he was there to work on, what the mission was, and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I mean, obviously it makes sense that she's involved in the mission and like what he's doing there, but it's just crazy how he was there to steal her heart, which, it's easier to steal a heart when it's willingly given. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, and then that she gave it to him anyway, that she was like, I don't care, I love you, and he loves her, and it was just so great. I just loved it. So I could just read that scene over and over again. And I pretty much really, like right after that scene when they were gonna go home and everything, and you were gonna try to end up together, I really slowed down reading. I just knew that it wasn't gonna end well. So that was like one, I guess, negative about the book, that I just did not allow myself to get too attached to these characters. I mean, I totally did, because how could you not? They're so great and they're so, you know, lovely, and Jest is just swoon-worthy, but he's almost like a bad boy swoon-worthy, like witty and all of this stuff. So anyway, I loved that about him too. And anyway, I really tried to guard my heart when it came to this book and getting too attached to the characters, because I just can't handle it when it doesn't work out, and I love them so much, and I don't see it coming, at least. You know, if I see it coming, I can kind of prepare myself and kind of pace myself, and I know that this isn't gonna go well, because I know that this is probably not gonna be like Maleficent. I was totally that 19-year-old girl working at the Y and reading my book in the fitness center, and I'm the first thing that you see when you walk in, and I am bawling my eyes out because somebody thought it would be a good idea to kill off the main character in like the love interest in my book I was reading. So thanks, Nicholas Sparks. So anyway, so I'm glad though. I'm glad that I knew, because again, like I would have been dying if I wouldn't have seen it coming. So it does make me feel a little better that Marissa Meyer, in the author's note at the end, she said that she cried for about an hour when she wrote that scene. So I was like, okay, at least you weren't like laughing like maniacally, if that's a word, maniacally, I don't know. Anyway, laughing your butt off in the corner, like, haha, I just killed him, and you know, all you guys are gonna just die. And yeah, so it makes me feel better that she was just as hurt as we were, probably more because she created them. But anyway, so that was the unfortunate ending. Obviously overall really love this book. It's a little different than what I would normally read. Again, Alice in Wonderland, and not a happy ending, and yeah, so those were the two like differences, but totally was so worth the read, and I was hooked to it for the month that I was reading it. Again, slow reader over here, but yeah, so I hope that this was fun, and I hope that you'll join me for my next book talk, and I don't know what it'll be, but I'm gonna try to research more, and if you have ideas of books that you think I would like and you want to talk about with me, then drop them in the comments below, and I'll be super excited to add them to my to read list. And so comment below, what did you think of the book? Who were the characters that you hated? Who were the characters that you loved? Did I miss any huge parts that you really wanted to talk about and you just need to just talk this out with someone? Please, I'll be that person. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So yeah, Heartless. Loved it. All right, stay warm out there, and we'll see you soon. Hello. So my first took talk. Yep, I can talk. I know English. So I did Heartless, or read. Okay. I read Marissa Meyer's. Just really, I loved it. I loved that. I loved everything. Yeah, everything about it. It was so good. So good. I loved that. I loved her and Marianne. Yeah, I loved her and Jess. I loved their relationship. And yeah, I don't know. It was really, really good. Yeah, Heartless. Loved it.